here from Fox's Blog Knits. Thank you so much for joining me today from beautiful Northland in New Zealand. I'm really excited to share with you a recently finished project which you may have seen on my Instagram stories at Fox's Blog. This finished object which I am wearing is the Cumulus blouse by Petite Knit, and I love her patterns. I think that they're so nice and simple and beautiful silhouettes, and I've been wanting to make it for a little while. It's been in my favourites for quite some time, and I actually intended on making something completely different, but it ended up going into the stash basket because my gauge swatch was rubbish, I didn't like it, and I thought, So I put all my yarn into my yarn boxes and decided to find something else to make. Because I had done this change halfway through, I didn't quite have enough yarn, so when I started making this project I did have to buy some more from another store, but because this particular pattern is held double-stranded, it wasn't too much of an issue with the dye lots, which is great, as that was all blended out, and it would have made just a really unique sweater anyhow. So this particular pattern I used a 5mm needle, and I chose a size small. I really love that the pattern had about 10 to 15 centimeters of positive ease. So I wanted to keep that look and style of sweater where it's a little bit oversized but not too swimmy, and I think that that size worked really well for me. I added, I think, an extra 5 centimeters to the body of the pattern. I'm quite long in the body, and because this pattern is knitted top down, you can adjust it as you go, so that is fantastic. The yarn that I used for this is by Fibre Spates. It's their Cumulus range, which you can see here. This is all I have left. You can see it's 120 meters. It is a baby Surrey alpaca and silk blend, which is so soft and lovely, and with the silk core it has that little fleck of white through it, which I really love. This particular shade is called Water, and it's a beautiful blue. I really like it. It's dusky without being dirty, but not baby blue, which I find quite insipid. This pattern uses a I-cord bind off and raglan increases, as you would expect with the raglan style sleeve. I made this pattern in 8 days. That's a bit of a record for me, I think. 8 days. Usually a sweater takes 2 weeks, which I know is quite fast anyway, but this was just so simple and so fun and easy that I found it really, really fast. Yeah, there you go, 8 days. I wet blocked it at the end, which I felt really made the fibres bloom beautifully and gave me a little bit more length on the sleeve. I was a little bit worried that they might have crept up when I did that, but all in all it was a really, really simple pattern and definitely recommended for a confident beginner. The I-cord bind off is not scary. I'll put a link below to the video that I used to help me out with that part. I liked that this pattern, for me, only had one new technique that I hadn't done before. I try with everything that I make to have one technique that is new and the rest I'm relatively confident with, just because I think knitting should be enjoyable and not always a complete challenge, but learning something new allows you to keep it fun and interesting. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that you found this useful if you're thinking about making a Cumulus blouse, or maybe you've made one yourself. Yeah, definitely a highly rated pattern, and I'm going to be making some more. So I'll be sharing more about what I've been making over the last few months in upcoming videos. So hopefully I will see you again soon. Thanks.